they doubled the requirements needed to get into the YouTube partner program. This is the bar for the subscriber threshold, and this is the bar for the views. And now they've like doubled it.
You know a big reason why Canadian content sucks on this app? Because we've never had the incentives like the Americans to make money off this app. So no one has truly invested their time into creating content. Because truthfully, it takes so much to make videos.
You know, a few years ago, if you asked any kid in school what they wanted to be when they grew up, they probably would give you the answer: a content creator, a YouTuber, a TikToker, an Instagram influencer. Some form of content creator is exactly what I'm trying to say. But now with new YouTube changes and just changes in general to being a content creator, whether it's burnout or the lack of revenue coming in and the struggle, the everyday struggle a lot of content creators are going through, I don't think it's going to be the case anymore. And we have a new struggle happening right now, and it's mostly on the platform I make pretty much all my content on, and that is YouTube. YouTube changed their YouTube partner program guidelines and qualifications yet again, and it's going to affect creators massively who want to be a content creator full-time one day potentially. And even just part-time creators are going to be affected. In fact, I feel like part-time content creation is going to be done with these new standards that they're trying to operate with. And we're going to discuss it in today's video and react to some videos and some content creators reacting to this, but also just being a content creator in the modern economy right now. Let's dive into it.
For a small creator pushing for YouTube partner, you just got put on a time limit. 2 days ago, YouTube posted their new monetization partner program going live February next year. They put a video out to talk about it. Basically, all they've done is they doubled the requirements needed to get into the YouTube partner program. This is the bar for the subscriber threshold, and this is the bar for the views. And now they've like doubled it. Just a quick look at my stats. I was lucky enough to hit the partner program a couple of months ago. I hit the prerequisite. I hit 1,000 subs in September last year. I did not hit the views required until June, July this year. I think it was June, end of June. I would not be in the monetization program currently if it was February next year. But they've also added another tier for shorts. Now you need 10 million shorts views every 90 days to stay monetized in the YouTube Shorts feed.
I don't think you understand how insanely difficult that is with shorts. I mean, shorts, whenever I used to make them, it was so weird. Most of them would get barely any views, and one would spike and get a pretty substantial amount of views, but then it would go back to having like no views. And it feels like this is a way to maybe like weed out like slop channels or AI channels who are just uploading like 100 shorts a day, and to make it a little difficult for them to achieve monetization. But obviously a lot of smaller channels are gonna be caught in the crossfire.
I was nowhere near the YouTube monetization numbers on shorts. 14th of May. This is when I was so close to hitting monetization. I was nowhere near that 1 million view mark. Nowhere close. So they hit that 90 mark easy. They just re-upload clips from TV shows. Like, these are the people now going to be earning through the YouTube partner program, and not small creators that make the platform what it is. This is on top of all the demonetizing they're doing of proper creators thinking that they're AI. Despite this, we have, as a YouTube viewer, we have no way to directly report to YouTube what is AI, what is abusing the monetization. It's just high key another YouTube L.
And this is why it feels like you could never really rest when you're a content creator. You always have to be thinking of new ideas or getting yourself motivated to create more content, whether it's easy content or difficult content. Regardless, motivation is a huge key, and that's why a lot of creators are experiencing a burnout, because it feels like YouTube is going to do something like this at least every few years. They're going to raise a bar, make it a little more difficult to be monetized, make it a little more difficult to make money on YouTube, until eventually a lot of creators are going to quit, and then YouTube is actually going to turn into TV, which it's funny that I say that, because with smart TVs now and, the ability to access YouTube on them, I feel like YouTube's already kind of getting there. Eventually it's going to be, you have to use YouTube Red or YouTube Premium to have access to the majority of the channels on YouTube, and that's how they're going to make a decent amount of revenue. They're always pushing, brand deals on YouTubers, trying to get them to get brand deals. Not that YouTube's actually doing anything or doing any of the work to get you a brand deal, but they want you to find other avenues of revenue, because I think they know they're going to make things more and more difficult for content creators to achieve monetization or AdSense revenue. So eventually content creators like me, if I want to make any money on YouTube at all, I have to have channel members. So again, if you guys are watching this video, this is a good opportunity to let you guys know that, I do have channel memberships open, and I'm going to eventually do channel member polls and stuff like that to help with content creation. So if you guys want to, please support the channel. Try being a channel member. It really would help out the channel, because I feel like YouTubers out there, content creators, eventually it's all going to be all crowdsourcing or brand deals and promotions and stuff like that, and it's going to get harder and harder to just make content and make money on just AdSense revenue alone. So again, if you guys want to help out the channel anyway, become a channel member. I really, really would appreciate it.
It's been one of the most amazing things. It has brought me the most wonderful friendships. I've been able to support so many incredible local businesses and get so many cool opportunities. I have just felt such a pull in my heart and my spirit that it is not what I'm meant to be doing full time. I'm not meant to be on my phone this much, and I'm not meant to be focused on myself this much. I started realizing that I was spending more time in the digital world than I was in the real world, and it was like slowly sucking the life out of me. It really is those damn phones. My dopamine addiction has gotten to such high levels. It is so difficult for me to focus on the smallest tasks. I also just started having convictions about the internet as a whole. I was like, do I just dive fully into this AI thing, or do I pull away? And I really don't want to put myself in a position where my entire livelihood is attached to being on my phone. If it gets to a point where it feels like it is not in alignment with God's will for me to be on my phone, to be on the internet, I would love to just be able to shut it off without completely pulling the rug out from under my feet. And it was such a confirmation for me, because I got a message from a family friend saying they knew someone who was looking for a nanny and home manager, which is like all the things that I have experience for and love. I love working with children. It is my favorite thing. I mean, you just see the way my face is lighting up. I honestly think that it is what I'm the very best at too. So I applied for the job, and I just said, God, if this is where you want me, let me get this job. If not, then no. They also were interviewing a bunch of other people, but I got the job and I start tomorrow, and I could not be more excited. I'm gonna get to garden in their garden and cook for them and take care of the kiddos and take them to activities. I'm gonna take them to the farm. I've been looking at when low tides are. My spirit and my soul is just so happy, and I know that it is so glamorized to work for yourself, but you guys, I miss working for someone else. It feels so purposeful to wake up and know that you are doing something meaningful for someone else. And I know that I have done meaningful things for other people through social media, but I don't get to see it. So it is a totally different experience to really be actively serving someone in person. It's kind of funny because I'm also at the best position I've ever been in my content creation career. I've been getting so many opportunities coming, and I'm not gonna just shut off my phone and stop creating content. I'm gonna keep doing it, but I want it to be a beautiful addition to my life.
And myself, I've also considered trying to get away from content creation, but it's really tough now with a child who isn't in school yet, so he needs a lot of attention, and because I'm able to do this while working at home, I'm able to do that right now. But when he gets to be 5 years old, honestly, I might start looking for another job if this doesn't really work out. I mean, I'm hoping it does, but at the same time, I'm feeling really burnt out. And also just being a content creator in Canada, all the hurdles that you have in the States, it's much worse in Canada.
I know a big reason why Canadian content sucks on this app? because we've never had the incentives like the Americans to make money off this app. So no one has truly invested their time into creating content. Because truthfully, it takes so much to make videos. There's been multiple times where I was considering just walking away from Instagram and TikTok because we don't make directly money from these apps. And most of the brands don't even want to partner with Canadian content creators because they don't want to pay the shipping and custom fees. Canadians didn't get the opportunity.
True story. I was almost an ambassador for Whatnot on my Magic the Gathering channel, which is Matt Caster Mage. And once they found out that I was Canadian, literally after like a day of correspondence, they had to walk back everything. It's like, ooh, yeah, we don't really have anything open for Canadian content creators right now. That's wild. That's what it's like being in Canada as a content creator. You get less opportunities, less revenue, and in general, you are in pain. You're working probably just as hard too, which is really frustrating. You know, and the incentives just aren't there.
You need to make money off of Meta like the rest of the Americans did during the panoramic. Coming out of the panoramic, our government decided to censor like half of the media accounts on social media in supposedly trying to push more Canadian content out there. Newsflash, it didn't. And then the TikTok Creator Fund has never touched Canadian soils. Homegirl can't even get a passport to cross the border. There's absolutely no incentive for us to be making content on this app. There's no in the back of our mind thinking, maybe this video will blow up and I'll be able to get some extra money. You know how expensive groceries are here? And one of the biggest things that bothers me is that we still experience the same amount of ads that American TikTok users receive, but yet we cannot monetize off of this app. That is so unfair. Why is there only YouTube as the option for us to make money from social media? I don't think that's fair. And I completely understand people saying they don't want to become content creators here in Canada because it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna be real, it really doesn't sometimes.
And I'm asking myself that every single day. It doesn't make any sense. I wish there was more opportunities to get revenue as a content creator, but again, here in Canada, we're pretty much restricted to YouTube and brand deals, channel memberships, Patreon as the only form of making revenue through being a content creator. So it's really difficult, and after like these new changes to YouTube, I swear it's gonna get even more difficult for Canadians and just people who want to be content creators in the future. Anyways, guys, leave your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.